Last one, best one.
Lobo, baby.
From our childhood bedrooms. I'm wearing my mini hat.
Perfect. It's beautiful.
Thanks.
Mini hat or Eagles helmet?
I mean, like, easily I could do both.
At the same time.
Yeah, like that.
Hey everyone, I'm Mackenzie Meaney.
And I'm Bridget Reilly. And this is
Hypothetically Season 2.
Episode
4.
Final episode.
Final episode of the fall sports. So today we're going to look into women's volleyball. You know the drill by now. We're looking at the coaches, the roster, their past schedule, their stats, stuff like that. So Bridget's going to get us started by talking about the coaching staff.
Yeah, so in the 2021 season, Sean Byron is returning for his second season as head coach at Marist. Prior to Marist, he has a plethora of coaching experience, being the assistant coach most recently at the University of Michigan, West Virginia University, Ohio State University, and head coach of the both men's and women's teams at Rutgers University Newark and East Stroudsburg, his alma mater. Byron has won 2 national championships while at Ohio State and Springfield, 2 of his many accomplishments. When he was at Michigan from 2016 to 2019, where he helped the Wolverines earn their highest attack efficiency in 10 years and recruited and secured 4 prep volleyball All-Americans in 2018. Not to mention, they also went to the NCAA tournament, going to the Sweet 16 in both 2016 and 2018, posting a record of 69-33 during Byron's time there. He also started out as a coaching intern in 1994 for USA Volleyball and has coached 9 summer developmental programs and the national B team, which had a combined record of 46-19 for those 2 teams. Solid.
Super solid.
In his first season with Marist, the squad went 15-15 overall and 12-6 in conference play. The Red Foxes did lose in the MAC tournament semifinals in a 2-3 matchup against number 1 seed Fairfield, a pattern that we will get into in a little bit. It's also exciting to note that Megan Ferguson, class of 2020, is staying with the team as a volunteer assistant coach this year. Last season, she led the team with 450 kills, which is the second most in a single season in program history, and 88 total blocks and 13 solo blocks. She is 3rd in the program history for all-time kills, 4th in all-time attacks, and 7th in all-time blocks. It's literally no question that Fergus will be a vital asset to this upcoming coaching staff, as she knows the game and the players really well, having left just last season. She can bring insight into the game and help move them hopefully into the MAC tournament once again, and hopefully the championship game to pull out a win.
Yeah, like Bridget was saying, it's no surprise that Megan Fergus is very crucial to this team. They're super lucky to have her back on the coaching staff. But in addition to her coming back, there's a couple other players that you should be looking out for throughout the season. Starting our list is senior outside hitter Sarah Austin. Last season, she had the second most kills on the team with 279. She scored 315 points total with an average of 2.84 points per set. Another one is McKinley Fox. She's another senior. She's a setter, and she led the team in assists last season with 611 total, and she averaged 9.85 per set.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to jump in here really quickly and tell you I made a mistake. I misspoke. McKinley Fox is actually a junior, not a senior this year. Again, I misspoke. I'm sorry about that. I got confused. The person ahead of her in the roster is a senior, so I just misread it. But I wanted to jump in here and just clarify she is a junior, not a senior. I made a mistake. My apologies. Sophomore
Gabby Murray is coming off a tremendous freshman campaign where she led the team with 26 service aces, scored a total of 222.5 points, had 59 blocks, and she racked up a spot on the MAC all-rookie team. So those 3 are definitely the ones to be on the lookout for, especially Gabby Murray. She's young, she's ready to go. But now we're just going to talk about the past few seasons that the volleyball team has had.
Since 2016, the women's volleyball team has had a record just under average or at average, with 2015 being a shining season at 21-10 overall. Over the past few years, the squads have lost several of their non-conference games while winning majority of their in-conference game matchups. In 2019, the team lost 7 out of 9 of their pre-conference play games and won 12 out of 6 of the in-conference games. In 2018, they lost 7 out of the 10, 8 of the 11 in 2017, and all 10 pre-conference games in 2016. So the pre-conference games don't really fully judge their talent and as well their overall record. However, all the while since 2016, the team has had a winning record for their in-conference matchups. The women's team is just missing the cherry on top, however, the icing on the cake, the crux of the biscuit, whatever you want to say. They have always been good enough to make the MAC tournament, and they showed that they can compete. They just not have had the championship game since 2014, where they were the number 1 seed and fell to Siena, who was the 2nd seed. And since 2014, where they did beat Fairfield in the semifinal round, they cannot escape them. In 2015 and 2017, the women fell to number 1 Fairfield in the semifinals, 1-3 and 0-3 respectively. Last season, they lost to them again in the semis, 2-3. Maybe this season, Marist will be winning the 3 sets. Who knows? But Fairfield is still looking strong this season for sure, especially with shining star Joelle Battles. 2019 All-MAC first team, MAC All-Rookie team, MAC Co-Rookie of the Week. She's got plenty of titles to talk about. Sophomore right side ranked 5th in the MAC in kills per set with 2.93 on a quarter hitting them, and led the team with 308 kills. And this is just one of the standout players for the Stags out of several more. The Red Foxes do rank against their opponents well, however, and have been sitting at either 4 or 5 in the conference rankings since 2016. They lead most of their opponents in overall stats as well, which is a great sign for the upcoming season. Mackenzie, do you want to dive into that a little bit?
For sure. Okay, cool. Marist leads their opponents in all of their attacking and set stats. Those are kills and attempts that they make to get points, as well as the assists they have on points. So last season, Marist had a total of 1,459 kills, while the opponents totaled 1,324. Per set, that is an average of 12.7 for Marist and 11.5 for the other teams. Last season, Marist also had a total of 1,384 assists, while the opponents had 1,234. Marist also had less ball handling errors with 29 total compared to the opponent's 42. Defensively, Marist had 1,765 digs last season, while the rest of their competition had 1,665. That's an average of 15.3 digs over 14.5. The only categories where they trail to their opponents are in serves, blocks, and reception errors, but those numbers are so small, like down to like maybe 20 or less. So I don't really think that they affect their game all that much. But now that we have laid out everything, the coaching, the players, the record, everything, how do you think their season would have gone, Bridget?
So I am definitely hopeful for these Red Foxes. Overall, I can definitely see this team having another season sitting around 500 or hopefully just above. Hopefully ranking around 4th or 3rd in the MAC tournament when it comes to playoffs. There will definitely be some adjustment, no question, without Fergus. I believe she will continue to improve and prove and show that she is a contender even on the sidelines. They trail in team blocks per game, serves, and receptions, and these will prove to be effective, especially against Fairfield, but these can definitely be improved upon as the season goes on. This team, I believe, needs more time under their belt with Byron and as a group to work the kinks out, but once they do, I think this team will do great things and be successful. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think that they would sit around 500 as well. I think that they're a really good team, and they have players who are super talented and really good at their positions. And Byron is a complete 180 from their coach that they had a couple years ago. He has a lot of great experience, and he brings a lot of knowledge to the team. And Fergus, like we've been saying, was a great player for the team in her time. And I think she brings a lot of experience and knowledge, and she knows these players really well on a deeper level than maybe some of the other coaches. And I think that the connection she has with them is definitely going to prove to be really beneficial to them. I know that their team likes to load up their preseason schedule with a lot of tough teams, a lot of big schools. I remember a couple of seasons ago, they played Alabama and a couple other big schools like that. They use it so they can build upon those big games in their regular season play. And I think that works to their advantage. As we talked about their record, they're super good in conference. But Fairfield, like Bridget mentioned, is their hurdle that they have to get over. They look strong, and I have confidence that they will keep the sets competitive, and the stats show how great they are both offensively and defensively. So I would expect them to have a season that might even surprise a few people. Maybe they'll beat Fairfield. Maybe they'll get even farther into the MAC tournament than they ever have. But I have a lot of hope for them.
Me too. It's a Christmas.
We're hopeful.
Christmas wish, you know.
Literally, Christmas. Give us a MAC championship.
Okay, so this was our last fall sport, hypothetically. Thanks for sticking around with us. In the winter, we're planning on doing a mid-season recap, kind of our thoughts on the basketball teams, men's and women's. So definitely stay in tune for that. We're super excited to have that come out. But definitely just keep reading the website. Stay loyal.
Yes. Centerfieldmarist.com.
Yes. And maybe when we do basketball, we can talk about my award? Maybe?
Bridget's a baller.
Way past that. That was my prime.